What was the most country of WA you'd seen before Mora?
I reckon Terminal 4 at Perth Airport would have to be the most rural I went.
This is probably, I guess, the smallest place that I've been to so far.
But I really like Mora, like that small town feeling I really like, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, it's definitely unique. We're shearing at the moment on the farm, and so taking students around, had a bit of a look at a few potential hazards and just give them a better understanding of what we do.
The Wheatbelt Rural Health Placement Program, which is a program for medical students in their preclinical years, and it's about getting them familiar with rural life as opposed to rural practice, and they're billeted out with families for a week in a rural town, anywhere from as close to Perth as Cunderdin to as far out as Southern Cross. This year we've got 2 medical schools involved, Notre Dame and Curtin.
And I think it is one of those things that if you're going to be a doctor of the future in Australia, you need to understand the country. Hopefully it's going to inspire many of our doctors to think about a rural experience and a rural career. But even for those that don't, it gives them actually some eye-opener into what rural life is all about, and something that hopefully stays with them for the rest of their career.
And we've expanded to include our 8th town, so I'm sitting here in Mora talking to you. And it's been really exciting because for the last 3 years, every year we've added on 1 or 2 new towns to the program, and the towns and the people who participate, especially the people who billet our students and having them, live in their home, they absolutely love it.
I love the opportunity to connect young people with the regions. I think they don't always come to experience what the regions are like. So an opportunity to give them a bit of a taste or dip their toe into the fun that we have and to really experience it, I think is great.
My friends from back home have been sort of asking me why I'm so far away at the moment. I've been explaining to them that the whole point of the program is to actually expose us and to sort of remove some of those stereotypes about living rurally. It can be done, and people do it, and people have quite enriching lives from living here, as the doctor today was saying.
If you've seen that doctor since you're a baby and your parents have seen that doctor, you know that you can trust them, and that continuity. I don't think a lot of other specialties have that privilege and that insight into people's lives.
It does really put things into perspective, because at the end of the day, when you're busy and you're working and you've got a list full of patients and everyone coming through the door, I think you can sort of lose sight of what people's backgrounds are and where they come from, and that you sort of take for granted, I guess, that personal connection when you're under that sort of time pressure. So knowing, I guess, how far people have had to travel, and they might have to come back for recurrent appointments, and then what's that doing for the family? What's that doing for the kids? Someone on a farm, all these things that are operating in the background that you can sort of, you have that potential to lose sight of unless you actually understand how a community like this works.
If our future doctors can understand that, then I think we're doing a service for the community.
We've got a long-term commitment to this, that we know that the Shires are very keen, and we know we've got a great relationship with Curtin and Rural Health West, so we think this is something that we can see us doing as a school for many, many years.